There's major news in a case that has become the flashpoint for the administration's deportation policy. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the Maryland man mistakenly deported to El Salvador by the Trump administration, is now back in the U.S. to face federal criminal charges. Attorney General Pam Bondi made the announcement earlier.
Our government presented El Salvador with an arrest warrant, and they agreed to return him to our country. We're grateful to President Bukele for agreeing to return him to our country to face these very serious charges. This is what American justice looks like. Upon completion of his sentence, we anticipate he will be returned to his home country of El Salvador.
Garcia is accused of smuggling people within the U.S. who are not in the country legally. Remember, the Supreme Court ruled 2 months ago that Garcia's removal from the country was illegal to begin with. I want to bring in Mark Joseph Stern, senior writer covering the courts at Law and Slate. Mark, this is a big about-face for the administration. Explain to us what is in this indictment, and is it surprising that the DOJ had a grand jury in Tennessee all this time?
So this indictment alleges that Abrego Garcia smuggled undocumented individuals from Texas to Maryland and was paid for doing so. The allegations are eye-popping. The facts are quite sparse. There is not a lot of proof put forth in this indictment that he is guilty of these charges. It all stems from him being pulled over several years ago. Though he was ultimately let go, local police and federal authorities decided not to detain him or charge him at that time, which I think raises a big question mark as to why this charge is coming down now. And it is really surprising to hear that apparently for the months-long saga that we've all been through, that the indictment here was just dangling over him and that the Justice Department could have secured it at any time. I think it's very, very suspicious that for months the Justice Department has been trying to claim that this man is a criminal, unable to come forward with any kind of evidence. And now it says, oh, we have this indictment for charges that we've always known about, and then use that as cover to bring him back from El Salvador, complying with an order 2 months late.
What could this mean for future Trump administration deportations?
Well, I think that the Trump administration here was trying to have it both ways. They are finally complying with this Supreme Court order from 2 months ago, right? But they are doing so under cover of saying, well, we needed to bring him back so we could, sentence him to American justice, so we could keep him in one of our prisons. And that's their justification for finally complying with these court orders. I think that's a dangerous precedent because the implication is that the administration is not going to bring people back unless it can, trump up some charges against them and bring forth an indictment to say this person has belonged in prison the entire time. We know that most individuals who have been sent to El Salvador, who are in prison there, have not committed any crimes. They all, or many of them at least, appear to be completely innocent. Some of them may have committed minor immigration violations. And yet now the Trump administration seems to suggest that the only thing that can push them to bring these individuals back is a criminal indictment. Now, look, I think the bigger issue here is that, as the Supreme Court has recognized and warned us about, it is always possible to trump up some criminal charges for pretty much any individual. You pick the person, you find some allegations to make against them, you take them to a grand jury, which would indict anyone. Famously, a grand jury would indict a ham sandwich. And so what I am worried about now is that since this has worked one time, that we will see the Trump administration start to target some of these other individuals who have already been sent to CCOT, go to some willing attorney, federal prosecutor, say, let's find some way to bring criminal charges against this man and try to bring an indictment over the finish line, bring the person back and subject them to what is really a farcical trial and potentially a farcical criminal sentence here in the United States.
The Supreme Court also gave DOJ access to American Social Security information. Explain why from an immigration perspective.
Well, we know that the Trump administration wants all of this information on millions of Americans so that it can find undocumented individuals and deport them. This information is turned over to the Treasury, to the U.S. government, on the presumption that it will remain secret. There are several different federal laws that require it to remain secret, that strictly limit who is allowed to access it. And part of the reason is that we need to know that we can turn over our information and trust that it will not be spread for malign purposes, that it could could not be used in a data breach, that it could not be used to create a kind of dragnet or a police state. That is kind of one of the fundamental bargains of American democracy, is that when we turn over this information, we know it won't be abused. And yet now the Supreme Court has given DOJ access to that information. DOJ can absolutely use this to start attempting to create a database of immigrants who are here without authorization. We know a lot of those immigrants already pay into Social Security. They are paying into the system even though they aren't getting anything back. And I fear DOJ wants to use this information now to start going after these individuals who are trying to do the right thing, who are working, who are paying taxes, and using this information that they really don't have any right to target those immigrants and potentially subject them to deportation.